Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers, and I'm going to try to keep them short and sweet, folks. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article, share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever does actually see through with their threat. All right, folks, trigger warning. Sorry, it's a wee bit itchy. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use the headphones, all right? Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised. Allergies are kicking my ass today, folks, so you're going to hear all kinds of weird noises. Apologies in advance, all right? So, where we left off the other day, we're on VTO time, folks. So, we got to try to get these out as quickly as humanly possible because I am going to be in no mood to do it later. Recent testimony from Massachusetts hearing corroborates that AEs are understudied. Reference 14, day 9 at 604 McCracken, and that certain risks are underreported and undertreated in people with developmental and intellectual disabilities. This is true. Let me explain to you the reason why. Because doctors have an extremely bad habit of talking over their neurodivergent patients. What I mean specifically is for every single word that comes out of our mouth, they look to the individual who has come along with us to the appointment for confirmation. And I wish to God I was kidding. Okay? A good majority of the time, if you bring someone with you to the appointment, that's going to be the person that they're going to talk to. If that person is not there, they're going to speak to you as though you are 5 years old. You cannot get a word in edgewise. They don't give you the option of medication. They decree unto you that you're going to take medication, to put it bluntly, okay? It creates a very difficult environment for an individual to report exactly this here, right? How a particular treatment is affecting them when everyone and their mother is constantly speaking over them. See, that's the part of the communication divide that nobody wants to talk about within the medical model. Probably because it doesn't paint a real favorable portrait of them. Reason why things often go underreported is because the individuals themselves who are receiving treatment are not encouraged to speak up. Matter of fact, this is common not just with us neurodivergents, but really across the board. You have to prompt yourself to speak up for yourself in the doctor's office. They're really not going to give you much opportunities or openings to do so. They're not going to facilitate it. You just got to take control of the conversation, however that needs to be done. Because the reason why these things go underreported so goddamn often is people are so busy talking over us or talking at instead of to us that these things that would have been reported had it been done properly goes by the wayside. You can't sit there and continue to pound your chest and say it's because of their communication. They don't know how to communicate in a way that we understand, because it drives me batshit insane, because you say that while you're speaking over us while a person is sitting there in the crowd with their mouth open forming words. Okay? See, not every interaction in regards to something going underreported regards to a neurodivergent is entirely the disability's fault. That's a cop out. Okay? Does it play a factor? You bet it does. I'm not going to sit there and tell you anything different, but at the end of the day, one of the things about underreporting in regards to how a treatment is affecting you does have to do with the fact that these doctors, the entire medical model is systemically ableist from the ground up, folks. The very few doctors I have come across and interacted with that have not either talked at me or talked over me are more often than not neurodivergent themselves. These are the uncomfortable conversations that need to start being had. Okay? Because we don't think within ourselves. It's not prompted within us to be saying, hey, this is going on. Us older ones who've already been through it all and have had the special cases of the stupid on a few occasions are the ones here to prompt you to say, you've got to speak up during your appointments. If you are a person that is a part of a clinical study, you've got to speak up. You can't have the doctor speak over you or give you words to speak. That's another one. But that's its own topic. Let's continue, shall we? Other testimony indicates shocks are rarely used because of negative side effects, for example, avoidance, emotional responses, and perpetuation effects. Oh my God, they really did not read this report at all before they decided to recite it for their insane defense. Did they? This is a special case of the dumb. Similarly, JRC's own documents state that side effects risks can include emotional reactions, aggressiveness, escape from avoidance of punishment situation, increased unwanted behaviors, and self-perpetuation of punishment, as well as exacerbation of violent behaviors, because all of these are risks in regards to the treatment. And just like any other medical device or pill or however, you are supposed to list what these side effects may be. Point blank, period. That is federal law. That's why the JRC does it. But they like to speak out of both sides of their face. We do it because we're being made to, but it's really not true. Yes, it is. A risk does not have to take place in order to be a risk. For the love of God, could somebody get these people English dictionaries so that they can learn the meaning of words? There's several people I'd like to send one to. Okay? So once again, we're going over this in regards to undertreated and under reported, and I did bring up the fact because I've lived it, as well as had to go to some doctor's appointments with my consumers so that I could be there on their behalf and be the person that says, "Hey, hey, hey, doctor, shut up. Your patient wants to say something." I didn't quite say it like that because I would have been fired. But you get my point, right? So, you can't just use an article from 1975 randomly, demand it be given the same weight, and then when it comes back and it actually, by God, does not back your position at all. You can't help but stare at the massive amount of stupid and be filled with utter horror at the fact that these absolutely abysmal arguments have are winning the day, and they've been winning the day over the last several decades, and we all know they're piss poor arguments. Everything when the logic of our mind suggests that their arguments are batshit insane, that they are so stupid that they're starting to resemble stands with the intensity of their stupidity. But it's still winning the day when regards to the JRC, isn't it? There are federal lawmakers, doctors, well educated people who continue to give this place a pass when their defenses are absolutely ridiculous. Let that be food for thought for you. And if ever you thought that the medical model, if all of this, if ever in your mind you ever believed anything other than the fact that the reason why the JRC still stands is greed and corruption, please allow me to disavow you of that notion. We're going to close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Please don't forget to hit those comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you again in a second here.